couple days ago, 3 days ago. And so I got to send her the notes. But Mr. Former Chair, can we look to you to lead the meeting today? We got to go three rows back, but that's all right.
I feel like I'm doing this more than the chair.
You can get some of his salary.
All righty. Well, welcome to our Arts Council meeting for August 16th. And our first item on the agenda is the World Folk Fest review. But before we do that, I was just reading Leah's message. And it not only occurred to me this time, but occurs to me other times, if there's a pecking order to where the things go in the thing.
In the newsletter.
Like scrolling
Yeah.
past all kinds of other things. If there's a way to get us closer to the top, or
we could bump it up a little bit. Something has to be at the bottom, right?
If there's a formality to it, or if it's just tradition of the way where things go, or whatever.
Yeah, we can bump it up.
Because I think if we're concerned about people knowing what we're doing, that even if I wasn't on the Arts Council, I would stop after about the fourth or fifth
thing or scroll. Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, okay, so World Folk Fest review.
Yeah, so we have some guests. We'll let you guys introduce yourselves and just talk to us how you feel like it went, especially the Orem side of things. And we'll just turn the time over to you.
Okay. So our this year was pretty incredible. We had the most host families we've ever had since the 80s in history, like new host families signups. On a regular year, we have about 3 new host families sign up, and this year we had 26, wow. 27. We made a lot of efforts, marketing efforts, to get out more into the community. We did like a parade, and we also did some public weeks throughout the summer as the festival was approaching, and that turned out to be really successful and worth our time. So we're looking at places to do more of that. We have only about a 50% return on host families, which is unfortunate, but we're hoping to like improve those numbers. I think that's mostly like on our minds, because that's the greatest need at the festival is those host families it takes up. Yes.
Do they ever respond like why they don't return?
Yeah, we get a little bit of feedback.
Yeah, and I'm actually planning on sending out, I haven't yet, but I'm sending out a survey to everybody, especially the new ones this year, to get feedback on their experience and ways things that could be improved or way that things that they enjoyed and kinds of things that I like.
Yeah.
We've really revamped the host family program this year with Brandon being the new director. So we've like changed a lot of things, and we feel like the feedback this year is much more positive to like observe.
Yeah, I got a lot of feedback. And I think to what Julia was saying a minute ago, like part of the reason that we had so many more families is that we expanded the reach more. So we tried to keep it really centralized to like Springville, Mapleton, like that area. But this year, as you guys know, being a part of the festival, like having had some shows and stuff up here in Orem, we expanded more into like Provo, Orem, and more of Utah County. And I think that also brought more awareness to the festival, which in turn benefited for the shows here. Now, Julie and I weren't at the shows here because we were at the main festival, but our report back from Amy, who was here for those 2 shows, said that it was really well received, like that there was quite a few people at the events, and that people seemed to really enjoy that experience and having that free to the public so they can come and see it. That was also really good.
We also changed a lot of our outreach events this year. Every year since 1986, part of the festival during the week is free outreach events throughout Utah Valley, even up to Salt Lake City some years. And that's really important because we can add those numbers for when we're applying for grants and when we're reporting back to the national CIOF. of like what we're doing, how many people are being exposed to these different cultures. This year, a lot of the new things we did was your guys' event. There was also another Orem event we did with a home for turn,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
right?
Yeah.
And they have, and that's one of our very favorite, most beloved. We always make sure that's like on the books. What's really neat about that one is all the people that they're disabled adults and stuff, and the dancers come and they do their little performance and teach them a dance. But what they don't know, what we don't tell them, is that the residents at Turn have been secretly writing them all cards. Okay? And even a few of them learn a dance to perform for them.
That's cool.
Okay. And there's never a dry eye at this section. And all the residents get to come and hand the card to a performer that they just feel like giving it to. And it's one of the most beloved. When they go home, when the international ambassadors go home, they say that that's like their favorite event there. So we want to do more outreach events. These are all free events that we do out in the community. Our actual festival that is a paid festival, I'll set up. That is a paid festival. It's only $14, which I've looked everywhere besides the free festivals. Is one of, if not the lowest cost festivals for people, and we have like family discounts to keep it. Like children are only $5.
Wow.
You know, and we even with children as $5, we like family passes are $45 and under. So I don't know about you guys, but I've not been able to take my family of 6 to anywhere.
You can't even go to McDonald's for that kind of money.
Yeah, exactly. And the people if you come out to the festival, you see all of our vendors are diverse vendors, and authentic vendors, and we authenticate like the wares that they sell there as well. And we do like a variety. We want like kind of like a global experience in the food, in the crafts, and we also make it really interactive with like teaching about the countries and the cultures with different kind of like games there, and their passports for them. So
I wonder if there's a way to integrate. Sorry, now I'm just kind of thinking. I wonder if there's a way to kind of integrate some of those aspects, because the shows that we did in Orem were kind of like separate, right? Like,
Yeah.
It was part of the festival, obviously, but it was like a separate piece, and so we didn't have like all the vendors and like all that kind of stuff. So I'm wondering if there's a way to like incorporate something where like if this happens in the future and we continue to get work in Orem and do some stuff in Orem, if there's ways to like expand the festival so that like there's pieces of that too. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it. That's a great
what I
idea.
have to say is, in my years of being on the festival, I feel like we're on the cusp of becoming something really spectacular. I think what I saw my first year when I decided to volunteer was I was shocked that something this unique in Utah wasn't as big as the Storytelling Festival or the Shakespearean Festival, that we're not as big as them, because no one else is doing something like this. It's the only international festival in all of Utah. And not only that, there's only 4 other in the entire United States. And only 2 other festivals of those 4 have a host family program.
Wow.
Where they get to stay with local people during the week in the entire United States.
So how do they get people to come without host families? They have to stay in hotels?
No, some of them hotels, but I think one only does hotels. The other ones, they stay in cots and gyms.
Oh man.
Whoa,
Use, like,
okay.
schools and stuff
Yes.
like that.
And I would just like to emphasize, like, the people who come to World Folk Fest, the international guests, they are not just folk dancers. They have to go through rigorous training and verifications from their countries to come here and represent their country here.
So do the other countries see this kind of as a diplomacy mission?
It is absolutely a diplomacy mission. And not only that, but a lot of people don't know their countries are airing them on the news while they're here in their country as ambassadors. Okay.
That's
As
amazing.
ambassadors representing their country and helping bridge the gap. So like, and that's also like what we do when we talk to our host families, is we tell them like, you're giving them the Western welcome experience. You're showing them the hospitality. And I think we had a board member that said a really great line of, when you host, you usually when you think of a country, you often think of them as their government, what you know
Mhm.
of their government, right? And that's not at all what actually that country is. You know, you get to separate the government from the actual people and the culture, and it's an incredible experience. And I would just like to see, in my lifetime, World Folk Fest get the backing and support it's so rightfully deserves. It is such an incredible thing built on hundreds and hundreds of volunteers since 1986. And we have board members, we just get to come in for our time that we get to serve, and it's just an honor for us to keep it going. We don't want to see it die out, but like we really have such low funding and have such low city support, especially sadly in Springville, which we love, and we hope that we're building that back up again. But like if we don't receive like more help and more opportunities, you know, we're all just volunteers. And every year it's getting harder and harder. And one of the main reasons it's getting harder is we don't have a dedicated sponsorship director. And everyone is doing like 3-4 jobs as best as they can. This festival is humongous, and I think we also like are doing the best we can to find more volunteers. But again, like everyone's doing 3 or 4 jobs, so like we don't even have time to find more volunteers because we're scrambling to get host families and stuff. And we used to have Springville City, until the laws changed in the state, used to be mega partners in World Folk Fest. They used to put flags all down Main Street and things across. Everyone knew in the 80s what World Folk Fest was in the area, you know, and the laws changed. They can no longer, because they're a separate entity, can no longer like promote us the way that they used to.
Mm.
Why is that? You're a
Yeah.
separate nonprofit, and so they can't promote you?
Yeah. I believe that's the law that I've been hearing.
Yeah, I just know that we're not allowed to like put signs and flags like on city property.
Yeah.
So
They are not either.
They don't bring you in as a
It's gotten
partnership
lot
or anything
more
like that?
tighter. Yeah, that's what they've told us every year. We ask every year if they can please, like, we give them new ideas of like how they can put things out there. We have a very small marketing budget that I have to stretch. I'm the marketing director.
Mhm.
And like,
Yeah.
and to be fair though, too, like most of the board this year is new members of the board. So this is my first year. There were 3 other members of the board that was their first year on the board. And out of a group of 7 or 8, that's like half the group. And so, and our general director, Mike, who you all met, this was his first year as general director. He was on the board previous years, but he was not general director. And so we're kind of jumping into it, being like, okay, what kind of things do we need to repair? What kind of things do we need to look at and see to like build up those relationships or like make those things work better. So there are aspects of it that we might not know the details, like define.
So can Springville partner with you though? Can they be a
They-
partner?
Yeah, they give us a grant every year. But the grant isn't growing with the expenses. The grant hasn't grown. Like,
Well, it's just
no,
interesting that they wouldn't bring you in as a co-sponsored event where it's like this is half of like a city event and a partnership.
Yeah, we find that really curious as well. We do not. I'm really transparent person. Like I don't feel like we've gotten really good communication on why that is happening. My best understanding is that there was like a multiple boards ago was a falling out between like 2 people, and there's none of those people on the board currently, so it's only like a rumor. It's the only thing we can like think of.
Are you looking for a city to partner with?
So we've been talking about Orem, especially this year with how amazing you guys have been, and we're worried about, so the thing we're worried about the most about going anywhere else is the arts park was built for World.
For this.
Perfect.
And what is the venue, the stage is specifically built for World Folk Fest. There's no other stage like it. And like it has very specific, like it's built really, really long so you can fit 400 people dancing on it. And the whole thing is built to be danced on. And even like the way the musicians, they have musician pits, 2 of them, so the musicians can go on and off seamlessly just for world. So it's very specific.
Wow.
How big is that stage for 400 people?
It's really big, and because we were at the high school this year because of construction, we missed that stage so bad. Like we had to cut up our performance, you know. But this year, because we had it at the high school, it made us have to try a lot of new things this year that we really love that we're going to continue implementing.
And
I think part of that is the stuff.
why did you have it at the high school?
The
the
Springfield
place?
City is doing construction all around all the roads access.
They're building a new high school.
Yeah, so we gotta have the
So-
high school this year.
Oh,
The arts part, like the access to it was all blocked off and tore up
Okay.
because of the new construction.
so you didn't,
Yeah.
this is the first year you haven't had it in the arts park. then?
Yeah.
Yep. It was kind of rough, but we did okay. Like we only lost about, on an average year, we make 17,000, and we only lost 1,000
In ticket sales.
in ticket
So
sales.
it's nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the festival takes about 50 grand,
to put
between
on.
40 and 50 grand. So we have to scramble for a lot of grants, and
How big
that's
is that
with
city
all
grant that you
volunteers.
8,000? That's not much, huh?
And what are your crowds like?
Currently we get about 900 on Wednesday and Thursday, and then between 12 and 1,500. And that's not including all of the outreaches.
No, yeah, those are just the actual like performances, like the big performances.
So you
Yeah.
probably reach about between 5 and 7 or 8,000.
Yeah, 8 plus in the 7 days. That
Was that
in 7 days.
Oh, in 7 days.
Yeah, within 7 days.
So they're here for 7 days, like they're dancing here for 7 days, but the performances, like the festival performances are Wednesday through Saturday, but then we have all those outreach events and stuff that we do
Mhm.
during the week.
And that's with a tiny marketing budget. Yeah.
Have you talked to BYU ever about this?
We originated, the first year was at BYU.
Yeah.
We are trying to distance ourselves from like any like strongly religiously affiliated, because we are a COF. We are a COF.
Yeah, what's that?
It's a branch of the United Nations.
Oh.
So, yes.
And they oversee all the, COF is like, they certify folk dance festivals around the world,
Mhm.
and so.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
And that helps you bring in countries.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what helps
so
bring
World
countries
Folk
to
Fest is a part of it, so so what it kind of looks like for them is we have like a page on their COF website, their official like worldwide website, and verified international groups that they have verified and let them be folk dancers. They get to go on and scroll through all the festivals in the world and just and apply to go perform at them during the summer. And we get rated by the ambassadors, by the performers every year, by all of them. And those are public for the other performers to rate. And just so you know, tooting our own horn and stuff, we are the festival to pick. Okay, we get the top pick of everyone. And that's not only because of our host family program, because they don't want to stay in gyms.
No?
They want to stay with local people, and we get really high reviews on our host families and the hospitality in Utah. And then the second one is that we partner with the Folk Dance Festival in Idaho, which really helps. So they get to do 2 back to back. We do our dates with them, so that they get to do 2 festivals back to back, which makes it worth like their money as well. Because they pay for the travel out here, and then we take care of them once they're here.
So what is the Idaho people, what they help with again?
The Magic Valley, they have their own COF
Oh,
International,
They're one
just
of the
like
5,
us,
they're
yeah.
one of the 5 in the United States.
Mhm.
oh, and they go up there too?
Yeah,
Perform?
Magic
Yeah,
Valley.
they do that the
Magic
week
Valley
before.
Folk Dance Festival.
We
It's in
coordinate
early
with them, We
Okay.
coordinate with them, so they hit them first
Oh, I
week,
see.
and then they travel down here
Mhm.
and do us for this second week.
I see.
So it makes it a lot much better for, you know, the cost of festival. Yeah.
Does the group in Idaho have a comparable financial arrangement that you have?
Don't know.
No, not that I can see. We are definitely twice the crowd as them, and we definitely
I
have.
just mean in terms of their own funding and their budget and all of that stuff.
They do theirs, I believe, at a high school. So the fact that like and I can tell that they have a they don't release their budget to us or anything, but it's definitely smaller than us. But at the same time, like having it at the high school really diminished the festival compared to like if you've been to World Folk Fest at the arts park and you see the stage and like you know, it's a completely different experience that's there versus the high school stuff. I think we are gaining so much momentum. We doubled our 3 years ago. We doubled our attendance rate overnight from one festival to the next. Like we are growing, and we were expected. We had a 20% increase right before we found out 2 months before our festival. We found out that we wouldn't be able to access our festival. 8 weeks.
Wow.
8 weeks. So we had to scramble in 8 weeks to have it at the high school. But we were set showing a 20% increase in ticket sales.
Oh,
And then we changed it to the high school and that dropped
a little bit.
significantly. Because when you're looking at where you're gonna take your family for the weekend, like you're looking at different things, you've got a festival here, and you've got a high school event here, like, you know, it definitely drops.
And we
the-
kind of had to pull back on marketing because the limited seating, like
Yeah.
at
We
the
had
arts
half
park,
the
you could
seating.
have,
Yeah.
there's not really a limit to the amount of people you can have in this outdoor.
We only had seating for 900 at the
Yeah,
high school, and like I
Oh.
said, we get like 1,500 on the other nights, and we were showing that 20% increase. So I just like died inside a little bit, right? And seeing the 20%, I've been working my booty off for like I'm one of the full-time directors, and so like I've been cranking out stuff for like now 4 years. And seeing like every year I'm seeing an increase, and then this year seeing the 20%, and like all the things are coming to place, and then it's like stalls and then it drops. So
And all this construction will be done for next year?
Yeah,
She'll be back.
It'll be done. It's almost done right now, actually. It just got delayed. It was supposed to be done before.
There's
But
opened up access to the park.
yeah, we got this.
What would you like to see Orem, how would you like to see us partner?
I think we would really love a bigger grant. So, of course. And we absolutely love the Orem events. And we would love like promotion of our event, or at least with the the host family.
Yeah,
We could really use that, and that is such a cool thing.
yeah.
You need more host families?
Every year we need host families. It's
Some people
always-
come back and year after year or something.
We only have about a 50% return for host families.
But the festival's been going since 1986, so some of those people have been, like, we
Oh,
presented
that's
an
true.
award for the first time this year called the Sarah Newman Hearthstone Award, to people who have like dedicated a lot of years. But the family that received at the Wellses, they hosted this year, and they've hosted for 33 of the 38 years.
Wow.
So, but you can imagine that people who've been hosting that long, they're getting older, and so
Yeah.
they're like, we can't keep doing this. Like, we can't keep up with
I
it.
traded in my minivan.
Yeah.
So
We see a lot of that. So we had a lot of influx of newer, younger people this year.
We
in
usually
that
only spend
24.
about like 5% of our marketing efforts asking for host families in the years. And because of the need to get double host families this year and the combination between that and we were having it at the high school, I quickly changed and canceled a lot of just like the ticket sales because I was like, I don't need to fill seats, you know? And so we put that into kind of going to the parade. We're interested in maybe adding a parade And I don't know if Orem has a parade and stuff, but we now have a
We
parade
have a
floats.
float now.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
We would love to be involved in those.
Yeah, so, if you guys would like to invite us to the Orem parade.
So just for our records, you did 4 events in Orem this year. There was
three.
Turn, the mall,
Turn and mall.
Oh, the mall.
the park.
Oh, you.
So we had the
And
park,
library
the
hall.
the park, the library, the mall, and the turn.
And those were all done for free and at the expense of our nonprofit.
And that's just for a first year, just to introduce, you're hoping to get into grants and ticket sales or no?
Well, yeah, we're definitely going into like future years, we do want to, like she said, like seeing that 20% increase was great until we decided we couldn't count the seat that many people. And so we obviously want the festival to grow and get bigger and bigger every year. And so, yeah, tickets.
And we're open to ideas, right? We're open to like what works for like the city, what works for the people. Like you guys know your people the best and like what they're interested in.
And we love the events, we'd love to continue to do those events, and like if there's other things.
Yeah.
Like that, like we're very open-minded to like.
But we do think the only way we could move to Orem is if you guys built us the World's Folk Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the big sticking point. We
And that would be
can't-
something that has to be brought up and then put back down. It wouldn't be able to be up all year, right?
No, the one
that they
built
have in
at the arts.
Springville is there all year.
Yeah, the one they
Oh.
built in Springville built one in the 80s for World's Folk Fest because they were like the
Gun hall.
biggest partner.
Is
Yeah,
it
they
just-
were in it.
Is it cement? or what is
Yeah,
it?
it has to be cement. It's built cement because it's housing like 400, 500 people on that
Hmm.
stage dancing, right?
There is
Dancing, yeah.
there is a piece of it that's like the dance floor that we move on to the stage every year. and
That's just to protect their shoe.
But it's just to
The
protect like
dancer
the
shoes,
dancers
not
and
the
stuff
stage.
like that.
Yeah.
Do you know the size? What is the dimensions of that?
No, I'm not off the top of my head. We have it somewhere. I don't know.
Approximately.
I don't even know. 500 people's worth.
Uh-huh.
We could definitely get that information.
Interesting, okay, 500 people at one time on that stage.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Dancing.
So essentially you have
Yeah.
all of the, we have
Yeah.
opening and closing numbers where every group is on
Yeah.
the
The
stage. at the same
entire,
time.
all international groups and the US group are all there doing a dance. This is so cool.
Mhm.
We send them the
Yeah.
choreography months in
Right.
advance. They rehearse in their
Uh-huh.
countries. And then when they come, we have one day
Hmm.
to get that
Oh.
dance. And that's also the other thing that puts us at a 5-star rating internationally is the other festivals, they just have them come at the end of the festival and just hold their flag and sign. We do a collective dance of all of the
That's so
countries from all
cool.
the continents.
That sounds like something that Mary B. Jensen introduced, because I think we did that.
Yeah,
I danced with her the very last year. She was there at BYU.
really?
Yeah, and they did that, they
She
always
was
brought
a
that.
founder, wasn't she?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she started it at BYU and for you too, right?
Yeah.
She started it for you?
Yeah.
It originated with the BYU.
Yeah, the
folk
VA,
dance.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Springville, gave them a big offer, said we'll build you a stage if you come and do it in Springville. Right, and they loved it for so long,
Yeah,
yeah.
then what happened? Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
so we don't,
falling
we're
out.
not quite
Yeah,
sure.
there was some sort of fall.
Yeah.
We just don't know what it was.
But we did have the mayor of Springville come out to, we have a special mayor's reception. And this is a part of our CIOP agreement, one of the checkboxes we have to do as a part of the United Nations is we have to have a meeting of leaders. Because the directors are not just dance directors, they're major ambassadors, a lot of them are famous in our country. Massively famous in our country. And so like we have to so we arrange this marriage reception where we do a traditional gift exchange and the mayor gives them a gift and they give him a gift from their country. And we get photos and these photos go back to their countries and they put this on media and they share this with their mayors and their governors and their presidents as well, that we've had this exchange with the leaders of Utah.
Wow.
So he gives a gift to every country.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then they give a gift to him.
Yeah.
Or to the
The
city.
Fry sauce.
festival secretly gets the gifts and they add a few things to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the stage looks like it's about maybe 90 by 70,
Oh,
pretty big.
And
So
it-
you
yeah.
looked it up on?
Well, I just measured it on Google Maps.
Oh,
Yeah, you
But
can
yeah,
see
it's
it's got
massive.
like two,
Yeah.
those two small, those are the musicians stages. Those are really important to
Mhm.
that building and stuff. So it's all designed, it was all specifically designed for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's incredible.
But if you guys wanna build this one,
What's funny is we did the same thing for the storytelling festival.
the what?
The storytelling festival that used to be in Orem for 20 plus
Yeah,
years.
that's
Really?
Built them a nice place.
Yeah.
And they moved.
And then they moved.
And then they moved.
That's what's hard about that.
There you go.
Yeah.
You
So I'm
got it.
assuming that when you were, your events in Orem, you did not have a mayor's reception with our mayor.
No.
That was for Springville.
But
Yeah.
I'm just kind of saying, like, if you wanna be our host, there's a mayor's reception. It's really beautiful. Make you cry too. It's so involved in there. It was a really cool thing.
Well, and this was our first year. We did the mall. We did the University Place Mall. We did
Oh,
Turn
yeah.
last year.
Was that on the
Turn's
University
been,
Mall?
Yeah, I saw a bunch of stuff from that. That
Turn's
was
been
Yeah.
involved for lots of years. But this was our first year, like, doing any sort of like performances outside of the Springville area. So Orem was the first place that we've done that. So that the library and the other one.
And
park.
then we did the Parade of Nations.
I saw that at the mall. That
Yeah,
looked
that was-
awesome.
Yeah, the Parade of
Yeah.
Nations through the mall. I thought that was really neat. That was really cool to see.
What was your care grant for more?
I don't know. That's
Was it-
I'm
Was
marketing.
it 9?
That's someone else's.
Are they a mid or a mini peak, you know?
We could
Can
look
you
it
give
up.
an example of what kinds of sponsors you already have? I mean, you're talking like businesses and.
Yeah, we could, so we lost our sponsorship director, they like retired. Yeah, and so we didn't have one this year. And so we didn't get sponsors this
Wavetronics.
year.
Wavetronics.
Oh, yeah,
is
except for
our-
Wavetronics.
is
Wavetronics
our
gave-
primary sponsor.
Wavetronics gave us $2,000 this year. And we asked, for more to be our title sponsor, but they're the only one who gave outside of like a few grants this year.
And then
Because we
there's
just didn't
other-
have someone asking for grants.
There's other local companies that donate stuff, but it's not financially. So like Reams,
In kind
Reams,
donations.
Reams Market, they do some stuff where like they promote.
But last year when we
flags
did
and
have a
stuff.
sponsorship director, we got like 10 to 15. It's like small donations, like 200, 500 here. But this year, like,
Okay, so your ask is media, more media, maybe the grants money and the parade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would be helpful.
And then continued events. So like the events that we did have, if you all feel like it's beneficial, we'd love. to-
yeah, if you like those events, for us to get that booked.
And we're definitely not close to moving the event. There's a lot of, like, the stage is an issue, if we were to move the event and have it hosted somewhere else. And then we're also worried about public reception of the people that have been there and been a part of the festival for lots of years.
Yeah.
So there's a few things that we look at, but we're definitely, if we're not closed off to.
The board is
potential moving
The
events.
board, everyone on the board is pretty decisive that we go wherever the festival can survive.
Yeah, where it's gonna thrive. the most.
Yeah, the arts park was built in the late 80s, right? It is showing its wear and tear. It is going to have to be rebuilt here soon in the next 5 years. There's a lot of parts of it that are not working. And the entire production booth, there's like a hill and there's a production booth that the sound like runs over. It's completely decommissioned, it's no longer working, so we have to hire a person to set the whole thing up like right in the middle of the crowd. So this is, stuff that we're aware of, that we're talking to Springville City on. And so I think it's a good opportunity. We don't want to getting back too much to Springville that we're looking, because that is nipping us,
But is there openness from your board to negotiate with
Yes.
Springville?
So I'm telling you
I
what
mean, it sounds
the,
like Orem, Orem's grant might have been almost as much as Springville's grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
It was.
and so that right there is a basis for a discussion with
Yeah.
Springville to say,
it's
you
a
know.
big part of like why we're here in
Yeah.
person, is because of how well you guys treat us and that you guys can see what we're doing. And we don't know what happened with Springville. We've been working for 4 years now, bending over frontwards and backwards, trying to improve their support. And it is just it's such at a snail's pace. We really haven't seen much improvement other than a few enthusiastic meetings with no additional support.
Yeah.
So,
Do they have a, don't they have a rap tax or is it?
Yeah, they got that.
Yeah.
There?
yeah,
And they just focus on not as much.
a lot of, it is the art city and there are a lot of, other programs on it, but there's nothing like World Folk Fest, yes.
Yeah, they don't pull as many people.
No.
Not
Their
even-
Art City Days does really well, but they also promote it and they also have a big budget behind it, massive budget behind their Art City Days.
Yeah.
And our Art City Days is new. We have
It is?
this, there's only one other festival older than us, folk festival.
In all of America.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Where's the other one?
It's in Washington State
Oh.
and it's only 2 years older than us.
Is that right?
It kills me.
Oh.
As someone has to write the unique selling point, I'm like, we're so close.
Number 2 is over.
Yeah, I'll probably put that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we did, there's a
Little treat
little
here,
treat for
go
everybody,
great with
so,
your lunch.
Well,
Oh,
thanks.
that's nice.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
listening
Yeah,
to.
Do you have like
Thank you for
cards and
presenting.
stuff?
Yeah, I don't know if I have any of mine left, I gave all mine out during the festival.
Or just tell us maybe, or I don't know.
Yeah, I have their email, so I can share that with the
Yes,
group.
please
Can
do.
you give them your telephone number also?
Yeah, for the P.
I think, I don't know who's been like keeping contact with Greta, I think she's been,
Yeah.
the point person.
Well, you're on the internet anyway. We can find.
Yeah.
you.
That's right.
All your emails are.
And you have
on our
mine
website.
because you applied for a host family, so that email is my direct email for the.
And please consider hosting.
And how do you pronounce your last name?
Delu, like
Delu.
delusional.
Okay.
So
pretty
you
funny.
have to be a little delulu.
Thank you for coming in. You guys are very
Thank you.
inspiring.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Really wonderful.
Thank
Thank you for everything.
See ya.
Good luck.
It's really cool. I think Orem loved it. I know Orem loved it.
It was a blast.
I didn't want to bring this up, but is there any possibility that this here shell can host this?
That's about double the shell stage, if his measurements
What if they,
are right.
could they
So,
use
just
the,
in context, that's a big stage. It's a big stage.
what about the concrete down below on the sides even? If they were to put people on the floor and on the sides, is it even possible?
I mean, I think it's worth talking to them about, I mean, I haven't actually seen that stage that they're talking about, if it's truly just a huge slab of cement,
Mhm.
I mean, maybe there's another place it could go,
Mhm.
Yeah. right.
but
Is anything being done with the old Timpanogos storytelling park? Is it just an open park area or?
it's not a stage.
Yeah, it was all done with tents, yeah.
Yeah,
For the parking and stuff.
it's hard, parking's really tough, that's probably one of the reasons is
Yeah.
just kind of outgrew it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I think it's worth talking to them further, and
Yeah.
sounds like, if they continue to apply for a grant, and then they do 3 or 4 things in our city, that's a bonus,
Yeah, that's quite a bit,
but
to four different performances in Orem. That's pretty fun.
yeah,
That sounds like a real opportunity
Well,
It does.
for Orem.
I don't know, just real quick, I know we have other things we gotta talk about, but were people able to go to any of those 4 events?
Went to 2 of them.
Uh-huh.
I saw it. 10
Loved
minutes.
Yeah.
Everyone that went loved it too.
Yeah.
They were crazy and enamored.
what was the attendance?
I would say in the park, it was huge. Like probably the best concert we had
Yeah.
was the Folk Fest.
And it was.
Wow.
What does that
full,
mean?
bro.
Probably maybe 300 people,
Okay.
so not a huge crowd there, but library was 90% full, which would be 90% of 500, whatever that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sweet. It was almost full. I thought Orem loved it.
Yeah.
So if we had to do something like they did at
Yeah.
the park,
Uh-huh.
we did it at 5 o'clock, right?
Right, which,
That's the only time that they could do it
Yeah,
during
that
the
is
week,
insane.
right.
because they have night shows that they're doing.
But what Greta said is that if we can get it on the schedule now, they'll give us the better spot. That's like the 7 p.m.
They can do that. I mean,
Just find a spot
Anyway,
for it.
I know we need to move on.
It's
Before I go
freaking-
to the summer camp,
Yeah.
that walk
Yeah,
come
we can just put it
together.
on the
Yeah,
wall.
we got-
Who's talking about that? Come together.
That's
Yeah,
the
so
one
yeah, so that's
today.
today and tomorrow.
Yep.
And just wanted to let everyone know that if you have time to stop by, the breakfast is in the morning. It's at 8:30. The neighborhood commission is leading that charge. But it's free community breakfast, and then they have a flag ceremony, and then they start with some youth performers, and then they go into like the older guys. But it's gonna be 2 fun days, and there's gonna be a farmer's market out there, car show, food trucks, and then it'll end with fireworks on Saturday night, so tomorrow night. And McKenna's gonna help with the blast zone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna help with what?
The fireworks.
Yeah, so
right?
we have to secure the blast zone, so there has to be a radius around the fireworks. And so McKenna and a few others from our team are gonna be out there guarding.
Watch out, I'm pretty tough.
That's right.
Don't mess with
She's
me.
gonna light the.
Don't think stadium of fire.
Exactly.
So
We're not
they're like
even
a
mentioning
list.
stadium of fire yet.
Stadium of setting the audience on fire.
So
Oh,
it'll
yeah.
it'll be
Oh,
really
yeah,
fun.
that's
I feel like it'll be a big crowd this year with all the extra stuff that the group has added in. The ad that we put out has been viewed over 60,000 times. So it could be like a Orem Fest Junior out there
Cool.
this weekend.
One thing is if you have some, I don't know what the right word is, rock enthusiasts or something younger, they are
Mhm.
looking for some, additional support for people who can carry on, who are willing to learn how it works and, right? Pete?
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's kind of their concern is that, they've expressed to us that they're getting older and they don't know how much
Right.
longer they can be the leaders of this. So,
It's
And just
probably
something to
better
do.
that they changed the name.
yeah, from Geezer Fest. Yeah.
These are best, yeah.
It's not called that anymore, is it?
No, they lost the
Put
rights
them
to that.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like
It's
to.
gonna
come
be
together
Millennial
as a-
Fest next year.
That's a good thing.
So, yeah, it'll be good. And then we'll just kind of see how today and tomorrow go. And then next meeting, we'll chat about what we want to do going forward. Because they've asked for a lot, it's been a big ask this year, more than we've ever done. Usually we just kind of help them with the park,
Mhm.
and Gina has helped them with the food, and then that's it. But this year, it's been quite the commitment.
What'd they ask for?
Fireworks being the
that's
biggest
great.
of all, this
Okay.
community
Well,
breakfast,
on Pete's time,
my time, my team's
his
time.
team's time.
Yeah,
So, hopefully I see it as an investment into them now taking the reins and,
yeah.
so we're
So there's just a lot to consider. I hope it goes well, but you never know until it's over, right?
So the breakfast is tomorrow morning in the park? or-
At the pavilion, yep, North Pavilion, 8:30, just continental breakfast. But they've got a little program they've put together, it's a flag ceremony, so,
Oh, neat.
yeah.
So you're thinking this could be a permanent thing that Orem City is gonna do?
Well, that's kind of what, as an arts council and as a city council and as a city staff, that's what we gotta decide. Is this something we want to embrace long-term? Or is this, do we need to kind of like set up some clearer boundaries?
Mhm.
So you kind of experiment with these things and then decide afterwards
Yeah.
what you want to do.
When was the last time that they were in Orem? Because the last time I saw them, it was actually out in Spanish Fort.
Oh, really? And at the other one, that one, yeah, has a different name, but they've done it every year since, I think maybe they paused for COVID.
Yeah.
And then
That's
that,
it.
yeah, it's just a new name because they lost the rights to that Geezer Fest title.
So that's been how many years would you say?
At least 5, maybe more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
What time does it start tonight?
So it starts tonight at 2, so it's gonna kick off here in a couple hours or so.
Wow.
And then just goes all the way through until about 9. And then tomorrow it starts with the breakfast, and then the first act goes on stage at 10, and then it goes until 10 at night, and that's when the fireworks go off.
Okay.
But something like that, a long-term commitment to something like that would affect or making any kind of a large commitment to World Folk Fest, because those be competing
Yeah, I don't
kind
know.
of big events.
Yeah, but it's similar to like what they were talking about with Springville, right? I'm sure Springville has their reasons for why they're only giving the level that they're giving or partnering that way.
Yeah.
It's just, we can only do so many things. This park out here is becoming like the hub of festivals,
Great.
like for the last 4 weekends.
If
Yeah.
you're looking for something to do, you just.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
We've had Bolivian Fest, Peruvian Fest, Chilean Fest,
Oh, yeah.
Orem Fest, Rock Fest. It's
Yeah.
crazy how many things we've done. The farmer's market every week. So it's like,
That's
we
so
can,
Farmers
cool.
market is on the map.
it's true.
That
It's
thing
been
is
great.
huge now. I love it.
So those are just all things we can, I think the Arts Council has a role in shaping and, advising on. So we'll be talking about that next time.
It'll be interesting to see, after all the fests, what the appetite is for the population and the audience
Yeah, like how much can the neighbors put up with?
this weekend.
Yeah.
So I live in the neighborhood across the street, and I get my board members calling me every day or every weekend. What are you doing?
Oh, shoot.
Are they happy or not?
Some are happy, some are mad,
Like it's-
depending on how loud the music is. Like if they're like blaring the music, they're very unhappy. But if it's like at a nice, roar, they're okay.
So you live just.
I live behind Trio, just across the street here.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to consider is how much can the neighbors put up with?
Yeah.
One of the things we've considered is, do we just set up a certain number of festivals we'll allow each summer? It's like, we'll do 7 or we'll do 8.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of lottery them off to all the groups that want to participate. Because it's a lot to ask of the neighbors, like every single Saturday, for a whole summer. You gotta deal with
Find a
this.
different part to play in.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just a lot to consider,
Or maybe you gotta take a poll of the city people around there and say, how many people love it? How
Yeah.
many people hate it? How many people are ambivalent?
Right, yeah. Just personally, I bring my kids over every single time. We come and
Yeah.
check it out and see what's up. It's really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
And it's fun to be known as a city that does these kind of things.
Yeah,
Even though the city is not always involved, it's nice that kind of thing is happening in Orem.
right.
So there's like so many things to balance and weigh.
Uh-huh.
So that's where we're at.
I
We
think it's
need to
great.
change it to fun family. city.
Yeah, we are a fun family.
Yeah.
Fun family
I'm,
setting. I
I'm
like it.
really happy about all this personally.
Yeah,
I think people need this brings a sense of community that we're all striving for.
yeah, and that's a huge upside, right?
Huge,
Yeah.
so important.
Well, Adam, we'll turn it back over to you. Michael was filling in for you for a
Oh,
second.
I think
Well, keep going.
our chair is here.
That's
so
right.
I will,
You're doing great.
Relinquish command.
I think we're on the art ambassador.
Yeah, so we
Check in, what do we got?
so we printed off the spreadsheet here of everybody's assignments. Just wanted to real quick, as we're planning out September's, communication items and things that we're going to be putting on social media. If there's anything coming up from any of your groups that we could put out, help advertise, do features on, interviews. I don't know if anyone has anything coming up. I love featuring people when they have performances because it's kind of a 2-for-1. You can learn about the group, and hey, guess what? You can go see them in person.
Can you tell me more about featuring?
Yeah, so basically what we do is the communications team goes and does a video interview, and we'll like film a rehearsal, or we'll just sit down with a director and just try to get the word out on what they do and who they are.
Great.
And then if we can make it to a performance, we try to give them, like, show the public, what they do,
Okay.
as far as the arts go.
So how much time in advance do you need to set up the feature?
If we could have 2 weeks, that'd be amazing, but we could do it with a week, Good.
Set up the what?
like an interview, like sit down and film something with the groups. Yeah.
A week before you publish it.
A week before, like if they had a concert, if we were trying to help them advertise like for a concert,
Oh, I
we'd
see.
love to give them, like a full 7 days lead up.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can put that on the city's website.
Website, social media, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Okay.
Well, so my friend is actually hosting the Come Together concert tonight.
Oh, really?
His darling is the Linda Rodstedt
Uh-huh.
person, Amber Beck. And he will tell me about the different events that are coming up. I'm excited to know that we can do some video interviews.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to get involved
Yeah.
with that.
And even if they just want us to share the stuff they've created, like if they have stuff, happy to do it. We're really focusing on getting the word out for our care groups. These are all care, recipients.
Okay,
So we just want to support them and like make that part of the value that they get with being part of the care family.
so how do I connect this gift to someone?
So basically you just go to them and say, hey, the city is willing to do this for you. Here's who you reach out to. You can have them contact me. I will
Okay.
probably pass it off to one of my team members, and then they'll run it from there. They'll do the video, they'll do the research, they'll put it all together, and then we'll post it.
And you're Pete?
I'm Pete.
Hi, Pete.
Nice to meet you.
It's the first
Hello.
time
Oh,
you-
that's
That's true. I missed last time.
He doesn't hear us.
Yeah.
Oh,
So this is my
yeah.
first time meeting
Yeah.
Stephanie.
He's
Yeah.
a communications.
This is my second time to be here, so
Well, we're glad you're with us.
thank
is
you.
great.
I'm excited to be part of it.
So, I mean, on mine, you know, 2 of them are over, but Sarah's, we've still got Fiddler till Tuesday and then Dancing Under the Stars next weekend. Richard Marks, and then we've got a twofer on the 30th with the Utah Valley Symphony and Lauren Allred.
Yeah, so I've got all that loaded up on
And
social media,
then,
so those will start going out.
Home Free is on Labor Day.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
anyway, that's the rest of Sarah's schedule, and then the symphony. And then they're already working on Colonial Days next year.
That's
So,
right. Here we go again.
Do you do videos of all your shows or just the
No,
information?
I think they, a lot of
Yeah.
times just share what we have on our.
Yeah, the great thing
stuff.
with Sarah is they do a great job making their own stuff.
Right,
You know,
right.
And so we just share theirs, but you know, these smaller groups, they may not have the ability to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where do you have your interviews at? Where would I
We'll go
find some of
anywhere.
those?
Oh, you can see them on probably Instagram's the easiest place, or Facebook, whatever you're more comfortable with. But you just kind of scroll back or search. Probably one, I'm trying to think of a few that we've done. We've done like the Wasatch Dance Company. That's the one that I'm thinking of right now, but we've done several.
Do you need interviewers?
Like people to do it. Like if you wanted to come along,
Yeah.
we'd love that. That style of video does really well.
She's had a podcast for a lot of years. She's
Oh, you're a
really good.
podcaster?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she'd be
I
great.
loved it. I love
And
to
her
talk to
husband
people.
does videos, not that I am offering him.
Yes,
Well,
you were.
like they said, like when you're married, you get voluntold.
Yeah, my husband, he actually filmed
Our
Scott's
show.
event for 10
The
years.
first 10 years they filmed our show.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's
Yeah.
made a lot of movies too. He's really a
Yeah.
prolific artist.
Yeah, we ran the LDS Film Festival.
Yeah.
Worked with Rob.
Robert Robertson.
I know him. And we worked with Adam for many years too. Also was involved with Christian USA.
Uh-huh.
Luisa. Is that right? Yeah, worked with him. He started the LDS Film Festival and then we bought the film festival. And we've just recently turned it over to another wonderful couple that have turned it into Zion's Indie Film Festival.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Opens it up to new borders. We're excited about that.
Yeah.
But my podcast is, I'm no therapist, but
Great
Yes,
title.
she is.
meaning people come and share their stories of triumph over trial. And it's been really awesome to be part of that. But I love people's stories, especially if they inspire others
Yeah,
to change their lives.
that's good to know. I'm not a podcaster.
I do know that the Wasatch Chorale is having auditions next Wednesday.
Oh, see, that would be a great thing to put out there. Like try to get some new blood out there into the crowd.
Wasatch Chorale, I haven't heard of that.
It's fire.
Yeah.
You just want us all to let you know as we know things.
Yeah, like as you check in with them, just send it along if you think there's anything that we could share or post. We're always looking for good content.
Okay, cool. So, concert series review.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get everyone's feedback on how we feel like it went this year. I'd say our numbers were up overall. There were some nights that were a little rough just because it was so hot, even at 7,
Oh, yeah.
which I think kind of hurt us a little bit. But how do you feel like it went, Dave?
For the ones that, I went to all of them but one, I think. And I think it went great. There's always a parking problem.
Yeah, now with the market. Yeah.
And, you know, I think it discourages some people who want to come just to the concert, that they have to park 4 blocks away.
Hmm.
They just as soon stay home. Now, I'm not sure what the answer to that is,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's the farmer's market is such a success. We're trying to ride on the coattails of that to get it, but I'm wondering if here and there has a. Just have the Orem train go down.
Yeah.
That's a great
Pick 'em up.
Yeah, get on the Orem Express.
Great idea. Are we going to reschedule the ones that got COVID?
Yeah, and that may come up later here as we talk about what we want to do this fall.
Liberty of the Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah, we'd love to have them back, whether in the park or maybe as part of a different thing that we do. But we can talk about that.
I would encourage I can't remember the name of the group, the Brazilian
The Bazooka Band.
American Fusion group that substituted for, they only had 4 of their 7 members there because it was such short notice.
Yeah.
So they were missing half their instrumentation and they were really good.
It was amazing to
So I'd
watch
love to see
people.
love to see the whole group next year.
Yeah, half their songs are in Portuguese, but that didn't matter. Everyone was
No.
just jamming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to just throw in this, I know I'm like a broken record on this, but I love the music at the farmer's market so much
Mhm.
that I would support doing music every Wednesday if it's at all possible, even if we have a disc jockey.
Mhm.
I think you've got the equipment.
Yes.
And so I just want to throw that out. I think music makes the farmer's market so much cooler. I think people just love it.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
What is the agenda for the farmer's market right now?
I think we're wrapping up.
It goes through October, so we got
I
2
mean,
months.
we're
left.
wrapping up.
Oh, the music, yeah, the scheduled music portion that we kind of built out is done next week. Will be our last one.
The
then there's
farmer's
been a-
market though, when does it run?
It runs from May to October.
Wednesday nights.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we found out from a company. This company does like, this sounds horrible, but cell phone tracking. It's not like it's aggregate. So they just can. It's kind of like on Google where you can see like how busy a place is.
Mhm.
So they do that. And they told us this week that there's about every week there's about 5,500 people at the farmer's market. Yeah. So that was great data to have. And it's so consistent. They were showing us this chart and it was like Wednesday, boom, Wednesday, boom, Wednesday, boom.
Mhm.
And there were 30,000 people at Orem Fest this year.
Wow, Great.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that the most?
I don't know. We've never had good data before. We
Oh.
guessed. We're like, oh, there's probably 20 to 30,000 people here, but now we know there was 30.3 thousand people there Saturday night.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love. We gotta use that like at the Colonial Fest and things.
Yeah. We'll hopefully be able to tap into that and ask them. Okay.
I know we're not involved in the planning of the farmer's market, but the times that I went and they had somebody standing like sort of in the line of all the vendors playing a guitar with a little speaker or something. I just found out, I mean, it's nice, but nobody's stopping to listen. They're
Right.
They're just walking by, so it could be like a radio, it's like, but if they had a way of featuring that a little bit more.
Yeah.
If it was out in the middle where people were eating and there was a little stage or something, so that people could sit around and listen while they ate, or I don't know, it just seemed like that was,
That's a great.
it was such a
Put a lot in place.
kind of a throwaway,
You can do that.
I can do that.
See, we gotta use.
I helped with the Barbershop Farming Society's education week 2 weeks ago. All the microphones, the cables, the PA speakers, the monitors, speakers.
I'm so for this. So I'm sorry. I keep bringing it up.
Well, so farmer's market's run by someone separate, right?
That's right.
So that's kind of our complicated factor is we don't really control it. We kind of, we have, but I think any ideas are fantastic to put.
We could go to the farmer's market guy and just bring it up to him.
Yeah, and he brings in groups and they do things that they want to do, and there's a bunch of people that want to get involved. Like Timpanogos jazz band, the high school jazz band reached out. They want to do a night in the park, so we're trying to set those things up and give people opportunities to perform.
Mm.
What feedback have you gotten from like the vendors? Because they tend to be like the same vendors every Wednesday. Is that, do people come back because that's a favorite, or is there a need to turn it up a little bit?
As
or-
far as the vendors go,
Yeah,
they do have a rotation. Not everybody comes back every week.
okay,
They put them on rotations, especially things that are very popular. Like if you're doing snow cones, you're like one of 7 people doing snow cones,
right,
and so you just take turns.
okay.
And so they try to mix it up that way.
versus ice cream comes back every time though.
Yeah, certain ones that, especially popular ones,
So
always there. Like the produce are always there. The bread people are always there. So
We have a few hundred honey sticks in our house,
yeah, yeah.
every flavor you can think of.
That's so.
It's dangerous to kids now though because they have so many toys and different things. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Jewelry.
dangerous to take your wives.
Yeah, that too.
Cool, so
Or
Arts Council ideas,
Yeah, so just for fall, historically, the Arts Council has done like one thing in the fall, kind of it could be an outside thing, it could be an inside thing. In the past, it's been like they've put on like a play in a day, they've done like workshops, like bringing in somebody to teach kids and adults some skill, like some artistic thing. We just did a whole string of concerts, so we probably wouldn't want to do that, but if there's any ideas out there as far as something we could do in the fall and even in the winter, that would be different, we'd love to hear it so that we can start maybe researching it. And
is it around a holiday?
no, it doesn't have to be. It's just, doing something to kind of just keep the arts rolling. Like we get a lot of great, momentum going in the summer.
Right.
And so just what can we do to kind of keep it, bridge it through fall and winter until, we get back to Orem Fest. And
So you're just talking about one event?
no,
or two
I mean, we'll
events?
probably do one in the fall, one in the winter. Or more if there's better opportunities, like, knowing that we have a podcaster, do we do something like that? Or like a night of stories? We'd have to work. We could do a spooky story thing, which, we used to do with the storytelling festival.
Oh,
I'm involved
storytelling.
with storytellers.
Yeah, and the library does a lot of stuff too, so we'd have to coordinate with them and make sure we're not stepping on their toes,
Right, yeah.
but just ideas.
I think
So,
that would be fun to have, like the spooky story idea, but family friendly, but out in the park.
Be
In
awesome.
October,
Oh, yeah.
for families, do like spooky night or spooky tales
Dress
or whatever
up
they
in
call it.
rainbow, wear your costume.
Bring in some food trucks.
because the farmer's market gets really fun in the
You
fall,
could
it gets
do-
darker sooner.
They
Yeah.
have
I mean-
the
You could do
lights.
face
Mhm.
painting,
Face painting,
Yeah. Her family did face painting at our
Stories.
event for the first 10 years.
We could have, we've got the train now, or you could have a
train. to-
costume parade and
Yes.
Costume, yeah,
Yes.
totally cool.
Costume
something that kids would love.
Contest,
But that
Because they have to bring their
train,
parents.
learn
yeah.
the swing dance.
That's
I was
right.
gonna say, I bet a square dance with a collar and a
Yes.
fiddle player.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
We got ideas going crazy.
Oh my God.
That train, you could take kids around in their costumes and they would love it.
a square dance at like Hillcrest Park would be fun. 'Cause then-
Oh, yeah. Indians.
Cool. Lots of parking there.
Mhm.
We have friends that are the Kellers and they run a
Nate Keller.
clogging program.
Mhm.
Oh,
Nate
yeah.
Keller?
Nate Keller, he is the,
Clog America, I think is the name of it.
Is that a performance or is that more of a workshop? Oh,
It's
he
a
could do both.
performance.
performance.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
could do both.
Mhm.
Because he travels around the world
Yeah,
representing America. And wouldn't that be cool to have him come and do that here? Bluegrass.
well, he did it at the Sarah.
Yeah.
And they've done it at the University Place
Uh-huh.
in around June, July, every year too. They did it this year too.
Mhm.
How about like a Halloween trick or treat circle that
Trunk or
people
treat.
need is safe for their kids and they can bring their kids to the.
Yeah, we do that at the mall. It's called Truck or Treat, where we bring out all the city vehicles. And then the
Yeah.
kids can go around to the vehicles and get candy, wear their costumes. So we kind of have that.
And that's at the mall.
That's at the mall, yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, it's a big event.
I'm glad they have that because
I know Wars do that.
I have to dismiss myself.
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
sorry, but I think we all ought to keep thinking of ideas, and this ought to be an agenda item
Next
every
time.
week.
every time.
Oh,
you know,
thinking of future events?
Yeah, October, November, December, January, February is kind of what you're looking for, right?
Yep.
So we ought to all be thinking about what are some other fall, winter, early spring things that we can do leading up to Summerfest time
Mhm.
and keep that going too. But I'll just pass it back to him. I'm sorry. I have to-
Okay, well, we're way over time. Let's just, if we can approve the minutes really quick, and we'll save this other stuff for
Sorry, I
another.
didn't know you. Have you had a chance to review the minutes from July?
How do you spell your last name, Jay?
Oh yeah, and there should be a paper with those minutes, so.
Where does I write it?
And if somebody wants to make a motion to approve these,
Oh, here.
thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, all in favor?
Like,
Any opposed? Okay, here's the minutes.
Okay, thank you all for coming.
Only if there is one.
Go on the record.